He's Bill Ryder, and he's Ryder than you.
The program Ryder than you, sometimes.
He's a fan.
I love sports so much.
He's in your face.
I will destroy those obnoxiously arrogant, clueless, tone-deaf superstars who are marginal players, good players, who made careers, who think they're Hall of Famers.
He's nice.
I promise, we're nice here.
He's humble.
I think I'm pretty good if you're on the show about admitting if I got it wrong.
Live from Los Angeles, here's Bill Ryder.
All right, let me open with an apology, because I promised you a show. I didn't do a show Wednesday. I was just like, unemployment life, not doing a show Wednesday. I'll do a show Thursday, and then yesterday, this sounds like the dog ate my homework excuse. The power went out. I spent an hour and a half on the phone with the good folks at Frontier, and I didn't have internet till 5:30. So we didn't do a show. And some of you wrote me on the Substack, BillRyder.substack.com, and you said, are you day drinking? Yes. I did end up day drinking, but that wasn't the plan, okay? One of you said it to me, and I was already in my second margarita, and it may have not been noon yet. You say problem, I say opportunity. So I'm sorry we didn't do a show. I promise I tried. I was on the phone. They kept hanging up. I was screaming. It was really fun. And all of that was done specifically for you, dear listener. BillRyder.substack.com. I got the Wi-Fi back, so here we are. Apple, Spotify, all the places. As you have seen on the description, today is the TV show, so listener Bryce is here. We're going to get into the Pitt. It's so good. I don't know what Bryce thinks. We haven't talked about it. Season finale was last night of season 2. Bryce has a theory that is actually a truth, and that is it's really hard to maintain that level of excellence on a show. And I had just watched season 1 of the Pitt 2 months ago, right when this show was coming back. So this, for me, was one into the other. Then we're going to go through my TV list, and then Bryce is going to be here, excitingly, for Bum of the Week, which he's never done before. Are you going to you talked about my dad wielding the power. You're going to wield some power. And one
yes.
of the people on the show could win, and you could be the deciding voice in that. Hello, listener Bryce.
What's up, Bill? This is what an honor. I'm Bum of the Weekday.
Huge.
I had no idea. This is.
I
totally don't think you're nominated for day drinking instead of putting an episode out.
It was pretty. I couldn't get the Wi-Fi, and you know where you get a hold of somebody on the phone, and you want to. So I in my home have almost no. You remember this from working together. I have no cell phone reception here.
Yeah.
So when the Wi-Fi goes out,
truly one of the only landline phone calls I would consistently get on my cell phone is from your house.
But the landline is through the Wi-Fi now. So when the Wi-Fi goes out, I have no phone service. So I had to basically take my phone, find a place in my house up high where it kind of got a bar, and then tape it. And then
see, this is the content your fans want, though. They want to see that, see you trying to stand on your house roof, trying to get reception.
The lady was so nice too, and I was just, and then we got cut off, and I was so pissed off. And then thank God she called me. I don't know how she called me back. They captured my. Anyway, nobody cares, but that's why we didn't have a show. We have a show today. It is hard to. Maybe the only thing harder than creating a remarkable TV show is maintaining that level of excellence.
100%. I think I know you and I had talked about this in the last time we were together. It's just setting such a high bar in season 1 is awesome. And there's plenty of shows that just were cool, exit.
Yeah.
That's enough. Watchmen is a perfect example of that, right? Watchmen just did 1 season.
Yep.
And David Lindelof was we're not doing another because it's we're
That's
not trying to follow this up. And there's so how many TV studios, how many channels are going to allow that to happen, right? They're
True Detective should have gone that way.
100%, right? And I think they're even still trying to do another season of it. So
they did an Alaska version. I didn't even watch it.
It was good. That show was actually, it kind of redeemed it a little bit more. But it was so different than season 1. Season 1 could almost have been its own thing, and this could have been its own thing, and you would have never known. And it was just the same writer, the same people that did it.
We're both Shrinking fans, and we'll get to it. But I thought it dipped off, and then so I watched the finale of Shrinking last night and the Pitt. So
wow!
Dude,
you got your homework done. Yeah,
I gotta tell you, man. I thought, and you said this I think last week to me when we were just shooting the breeze. Could they land the plane? Could they land? Some spoiler alerts here. Could they land the plane with one of the main characters being in a place, sort of mental health wise, it's as scary as it can be? I thought they crushed it, and I didn't think they were going to.
Yeah, I think that's a great call of just, it's a lot, right? You're putting in, one, like this might be the first show where they didn't put the, how like when TV shows will reference suicide ideation and that kind of stuff, they'll put like the hotline and stuff. Not on the Pitt, apparently. But like because I think he didn't directly say it, but he was more alluding to it in it. But like that's a huge
interpretation.
But I think that speaks to the show. I think that is what makes that show so good. It's not how, like, the attention to detail in the ER is like the tip of the iceberg. It's the attention to detail in life and the attention to detail in like actual people versus them being characters, right? Like, I think that's what makes that show so interesting and so smart. Is I'm sure there's a million of Dr. Robbies in the world of just burnout, never got to actually experience the life that they want. And, the only, if I'm going to give one critique, the only thing I thought was a little clunky was him bringing how he explained his childhood trauma and how it came up.
How it kind of slipped in there.
That was a little,
again, trauma, maybe you would.
He had brought it up before about his mom leaving, so like I don't know if they needed that. Like, I don't know if they needed to explicitly be like, when I was 8, you left, blah blah blah. But I get why they did it. I understand like the connection and now what you're going to be alluding to with the baby and all of that stuff. But like that was what a minor critique of like a fantastic show.
What I sort of this morning, when I woke up thinking about why this show is so good, is you had multiple characters who were on what felt like a path to disaster. In that Dr. Robbie was the main one, but multiple characters were in a place where like it's going to go to hell. And when it ended, they didn't explicitly destroy or have this it's over moment for anybody. But it struck me this morning that at the end of that show, they're on the roof, some of them watching the fireworks, one of the doctors in her car crying. Dr. Robbie is with this baby. That show, the ending of that show of season 2, demonstrated the way that the Pitt and that job and that world and all the things that we just watched take something from all those characters that they're never going to get back. There is no redeeming, oh, shucks, I saved lives and it's worth it. It's like, no. It does leach something. I think they said from your soul is the way they put it. And it does. And that's it. And it's not some dramatic Thelma and Louise moment. It's just the grind and the brutality of some of the darkness that and for those of you who don't know, the Pitt is obviously an ER show that takes place in one day. Each season has been one single day, and which gives them so much narrative flexibility to do whatever they want, which is part of the reason I think it held up in season 2.
Like, we'll get into this, I'm sure, there's several Bill Lawrence shows that you and I both love and that are into that. Like, it's the opposite mindset of what Bill Lawrence does with his shows, right? He always, it seems like he always still wants to bring it back of the heart and the feel good and like don't have despair, don't go to the dark place. Like, no matter how bad it gets, I think the thing that this show wields better than most is it's real life in the best way. And like, these characters they just feel like people. They don't feel like characters to me. Like, again, like,
and there's so many of them.
Yeah. And that's your,
and they're all great
to the point you hit, like Dr. Alashimi, Dr. Robbie, and then like Whitaker and Santos, and like each of them
Whitaker gets in that in that pickup truck, and you're like, oh, dude.
And he's, you can tell he's been lying to everyone in the hospital about how like he's literally got a music playlist that he goes to for the baby. Like, of course, he's basically a dad
taken over
now,
of a patient who died when he was. So there's some great TV like right now, and I'm just looking in no particular order, right? There is White Lotus, there's Slow Horses, there's Pluribus, there's Severance, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms has only done one season. Landman, there's all these The Bear, there's all these shows that are out, and some of them I would put up there for the possibility to be sort of all-time greats. I think Severance they can stick the landing. They're 3 seasons in. The Pitt is 2 seasons in, and for me, spoiler alert, on my running TV rankings list, it is easily, clearly, without a doubt, 100% number 1. And I think it has the potential to be, my all-time great list is The Sopranos, is The Wire, is Breaking Bad. I would go Friday Night Lights, if you just sort of ignore the 4 seasons in episode 2 where they were trying not to get canceled on NBC and got canceled anywhere, they had a surprise murder. Just kidding. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but I think the Pitt is absolutely on that level.
I would say Game of Thrones hits that note, and like again, that's a proof of like it can go too long, right?
Yeah. Should have been,
but like,
on that. I lost.
But like,
should have been.
The crescendo of that show was several seasons before it ended. But like that show started season 1, season 2. You're just like, I can't wait till next season. What is coming? Even though people knew because of the books and all of those things. But like, I definitely agree. The Wire, Sopranos, it was more of this thing of like, wow, what are we gonna get? Like, where is this gonna go? And like, I think that's the thing that makes the Pitt so different in the conversation is like, because it's a day, because each season, each episode is an hour of that day, they can keep it in the same year, or they can jump 6
forward.
years in the fall, like they can do whatever they want. And I think that's what makes it so smart. And like, what I think is the secret sauce of that show is the fact that by doing it that way, they can make it of the time, right? Like, that's what's actually I was thinking about this morning, was this idea of like, what makes this show so special? What makes it is the character development, but it is also the fact, like, you had the nurse crying watching the fireworks because her coworker got arrested by ICE and she's really scared, and like, what? Yeah, exactly. And like, them being willing to take on those challenges, and like, again, like, the article came out about how like it got sent up the flagpole, and like they were really worried about how they were going to handle it and be a part of political conversations. Like, they didn't care. They were just like, if we're going to make this like a real life thing, let's make it a real life thing. It's
happening in America. One of the things that I think makes the Pitt so brilliant. Okay, so Lost and Game of Thrones, we both loved until they screwed it up, and it's really hard to stick the landing on those shows. I think Breaking Bad, of the sort of farcical, crazy, is the best show of all time in terms of that. And it was a great ending. I mean, it's a great ending. But like, where he parks the car a certain angle. I watched the ending of that. I watched that and the end of Karate Kid like every 2 months. I just go to YouTube and watch the end. But it's unrealistic. I mean, it's a little unrealistic, right? But okay.
Yeah. I mean, the premise of the show is kind of a little unrealistic. So,
right. Like, oh, you're a genius, but you're so mad. Okay. The Wire, to me, is the best show of all time. And part of what made it brilliant and able to do what it did and end properly is that it's The Wire could be a documentary. It's so realistic in the attack on the drug war, and then it gets into journalism and obviously police work and politics. And it's amazing, but because it's realistic, they were able to basically end in a way that you don't go, they went too far, or maybe. The Pitt is the only show that I can think of, other than The Wire, which to me is the gold standard of all time, where the entertainment is at a level that is the same as Lost or Game of Thrones or Pluribus, but they're doing that with realism, and that gives them some flexibility to end it. It's not easy, but if they can pull off an ending whenever they finish this thing after 3 or 4 seasons, I think it could be the second or third best show of all time. I think that's how good it is so far.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think, again, you hit the nail on the head of like, the realism is the part. And like, they could have just stopped that at what they are doing, right? Like the ER part of it. And actually, if you stayed on and watched, like, I normally watch the episodes and then try to fast forward to the end to see a preview for the next thing. Instead of a preview this time, they did like a inside how they do the attention to detail.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's really awesome, where they like talked about how lifelike they make all the mannequins that they use for like the surgeries and the procedures. And then like, there's actually a control room team that runs all the monitors that are out there, so that it's like, when they bring up an x-ray, they took like real x-rays that are of healthy, like if you had a dislocated vertebrae, they would have taken a normal vertebrae and then photoshopped it to look exactly how they wanted it to, and then fed that into the monitor. So like, that attention to detail should be enough, right? That already is amazing and like is awesome. But then they do it with the actual character development. They are able to use the storylines and everything to make it feel like we are in an ER currently in this 4th of July, right? Like, I think that is the secret of like why the show, again, like, I don't know if they'll stop after 3 or 4 seasons. Like I could see this being a show that they feel like how many seasons did 24 go for?
They could keep pulling it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
again, it's like that formula
going on forever.
But like, I think this is like the only thing that could stop it is I'm sure it's expensive in the grand scheme of it, but like, and it's a streamer, so who knows? But like,
right.
Content wise, and like, like that is the beauty. I'm sure Noah Wyle, when he was creating the show, was like understanding from his time on ER of just being like, there's like, just from this point and the medical standard, we have a bazillion stories to do. And they
don't have to do George Clooney falls in love with what's her name, Julia Murray, because it's one day. You don't have to do that to make it work.
Exactly that, right? And you can flash into it, right? Santos and Whitaker are at a much different place as friends in this season than they were in season 1, and now it looks like Mel and Santos are gonna like blossom it. The funniest part of that episode that I'm sure like super fans of the show will get is that they're doing the karaoke scene at the end, and
that was cool.
Santos has to pretend she can't. She is actually like a Broadway singer, like she's on Broadway right now
in real life.
And she's like got a phenomenal voice. Like she's
talented
singer, and she was like pretending that she can't sing on that episode was actually pretty funny.
I love the way, and this speaks to how the incredible acting that some of those characters. You see them in a certain light. Like I saw Santos in a certain light in season 1. I'm like, she sucks. She's a terrible person. And then you see her in a different light in season 2, and you go, wow, what a multi-dimensional human being. Complicated.
Right. And it's just that to be able to do a character arc like that in essentially 2 days, right? Like all we're seeing is two days, 2 of their worst days probably in their lives. And again, like, it was the opposite, right, for Dr. Mel, right? Like
she can act too, man.
Right?
She can all act.
It's Bryan Cranston's daughter. So like,
wait, what?
You didn't know that? Yeah, that's Bryan Cranston's daughter.
No, that's Mel is Breaking Bad's daughter.
Yeah,
now that you say it, they look exactly the same.
And she didn't use him at all, like to get into the business, and like,
come on,
I don't think she even
Nepo kid. No,
of course, but no, like he even just because he was just doing the rounds for something. Oh, because Malcolm in the Middle came back, and they were asking him about it, and he was just kind of like, I try to not be actor Bryan Cranston with her. I'm her dad. I'm just the proud dad, and just like cheering her on, and awesome. She really needs advice. Sure, but like, to be honest, she gives me more advice, and like it was really cool of like seeing
that is cool.
them interact.
I'm sorry, Mel, that I called you Nepo kid. Yeah, I apologize. I got a few of those in my life. I'm sorry,
but truthfully, like again, there's an argument. Whatever, if she's a Nepo kid, she's awesome. She's perfect for that character. She's perfect for the conversations we're having about all people being on the spectrum and her sister, and like how she interacts with her sister, and then on top of it, like the battles that doctors have to deal with the changing in medical field, right? Like we're very much in that phase now where we saw it at the end of this episode where this woman almost dies from eclampsia, and
dude, that was
because she just didn't go to prenatal care.
She wanted a wild birth.
Yeah, and
I
it's
thought
just
she was dead, dude.
Those are 100%. And
yeah, what a
I think that was, but again, like they use that to then character develop Dr. Robbie, right? They can now have Dr. Abbott is one going being like both of them would have been dead if you weren't there.
How good is Dr. Abbott, by the way? And he's just he was more in this season than the last season. And he's been in some random stuff. It usually plays like a thug or a gangster.
I was gonna say that. Like he's never played a role like this. And like
he's so good.
It's funny because like there's so much like groundswell online of like, do a night shift version of the show. Like we need more Dr. Abbott and like all that stuff. And like I think they took that note and decided, no, we'll just make them a stronger part of the season. Right. Like that's the smart move, right? They did 15 hours. Like the fact that Dr. Robbie's still there and it's like 10 o'clock at night is insane. And
it's so good. It's so good.
It allowed the crossover into the night shift a little bit stronger and it feel more natural.
All right, we're gonna do a little break. Go through some other shows.
I love your fake breaks.
I love that. One of my former bosses, I'm not gonna say Spike Eskin, who's a paid subscriber, hates the fake breaks.
Well,
They're magic.
Look,
okay, you gotta don't pull a Tom. When you go dark, your mic's still on. I'll be like Tom, and he'll be like, okay, and then and we're like, oh, this is a classy operation. I also have a surprise for Bryce on the other end. It's a small one. We have lots of stuff. We'll be right back.
He's Bill Ryder, and he's always right. It's Ryder than you.
He's always right. Tell that to my wife. I'm gonna send that to Lori. All right, here we go. You've never been here for
live programming alert.
So, I'm not trying to drive you paid subscribers away. I am going to Barcelona on Monday for a vacation because I have no job and no money, and my wife's like, just go. And my parents are gonna be over there. So, we'll have shows. I'm gonna pack I got a device right here. I'm gonna pack it, but it may be a little intermittent. So I'm just bear with me next week. But they have internet over there, Bryce.
I could attest. There is internet in Spain. So
there's internet.
That's what I've heard. Yes.
Dude, you think you're a rugged dude. You think you're self-sufficient and not beholden to technology. And the minute that the Wi-Fi went out of my house, it went out, by the way, it went out at 5:30 in the morning. I didn't realize till 7. I finally got off the phone at, I don't know, 10 a.m. or something with Frontier. They're like, it will be out till 5:15 at night. That's when I came back on. 9 hours without internet feels like 9 hours without oxygen.
It sounds wild. What's funny to me is it like reminds me of times when we worked together and there would just be, you didn't have a tech team, right? And like we would be doing a TV show. So like we were trying to troubleshoot like,
God, dude.
Hey, restart this thing and then do this and do that and like having you have to figure that out was one, I felt really bad for you. And then it was also the most infuriating
with that stuff. There's something called an OTN box. I had to find an OTN box and reset it, but it wasn't the problem, but I thought it was. And I spent an hour looking for this bot. I don't know the bot. I'm texting people, but my phone doesn't work where I live. So just all the messages are coming back to me. I was enraged, dude. Lori, deuces. She's like, I'm going to work. Deuces. Good luck. Bye. I have a podcast.
I can't imagine why you turned to drinking a margarita. I don't understand.
Yeah, Stu, I couldn't get Stu. I don't know if these are going through. No, I can't. There's no internet. And finally, like when I got like the thing up high, I got LOL. Thanks, Stu. Super helpful. All right.
He probably was like sitting in front of his camera for like 20 minutes just waiting for you.
I thought there's no doubt that he was. All right, let me run through these. I'm going to count down from 25 to number 1, and I just want to stop at a few that are relatively new, and I think some of these you've seen. So, dumbest show that I'm watching is Emily in Paris. It's so dumb. It actually used to be cotton candy dumb, right? Like, oh, okay, and now it's just inedible stupidity, and I can't even finish it. Okay.
I can't watch that either. I'm with you.
23 is Bridgerton. I haven't even watched the new season. Yeah, okay.
Same.
22 is Jack Reacher, which makes Tom mad. Jack Reacher's not even on right now, but whatever. It's stupid.
Sure.
21 is The Night Manager. I moved that down a little bit. I was into The Night Manager. I really liked it. It's got the guy who dated Taylor Swift for a while, who played Loki.
Tom Hiddleston, yeah.
There we go. I started the new season. I stopped watching it.
Same. It didn't hold me the same way the first season did, and I just didn't feel a need to go back.
100. Me too. All right, everyone. Number 20, The Studio. Everyone loves The Studio. It'll come back. I thought it was fine. I did not think it was magical. 19, The Bear. Number 18 was a highly rated show for me before, and I watched the first 20 minutes and I thought it was dumb. Is Your Friends and Neighbors? Maybe I'll go back.
That's the one I keep getting suggested that, and I watched trailers and I'm like,
season 1 was good, but season 2, it's basically, I think they did it and they're like, okay, we got this plan, and then it was good, and then like, oh, it's popular, we better come up. He's not going to keep stealing stuff when he figures his life out. Like, the end. I'm going to ruin season 1 for you. Everything works out, and then you're like, okay, cool. And he's like, but I still want to steal my neighbor's crap. No, you don't. You got everything back. All right, stupid. Number 17 for me, and I really want to like it. And I will say this: I'm still watching it. And when I fly to Barcelona next week, sorry everybody, I'm gonna download a few. Is Rooster? I want to like it. I'm watching it. Bill Lawrence show. It's on HBO. Starring Steve Carell. It's fine.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's what's kept me from watching it. It's not like we watched other TV, but like I haven't watched it, and it's because of I've heard this a few times from friends that are also like huge Scrubs fans, huge Shrinking fans, and Bill Lawrence is everything, and they're still like, it's okay.
It's fine.
And
I'm going back to
okay,
it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I will probably eventually watch it, but like it's not high on my list.
Let's say that you're a bourbon. I'm just a bourbon drinker, right? And you've got like a bottle of gin, and I like gin too, but you have a bottle of gin in your house. Every now and then you're like, oh, I'll have a little gin. Sure, right? But it's not what I want. That's how I feel about Rooster. I'll be sitting around. It's 27 minutes long. The guy that plays Jamie from Ted Lasso is the main character, and he's funny in it. I mean, I'm still watching it. It's just not amazing, right? The Agency, I think, is very good. It needs to come back, but that was on Showtime, Paramount. Okay, here's one that I had given up on. A new season came out. I went back and watched the end of the season I gave up on, and it's incredible. Daredevil. Now, I'm a Marvel guy. Daredevil.
I was just going to say that. That's just high praise for you because you're not that big into comic book stuff in general, from what I can tell. Like we haven't ever talked about. Yeah, but they're not like dictate your life. Like I got to make sure this one's out, and I now want to watch it. I will agree. Like, same. But I love Marvel stuff, and Daredevil when it was on Netflix was like easily one of my favorite shows on TV, and Punisher was one of my favorite shows on TV. Yeah. Like they're awesome.
Disney took it over from Netflix.
Right. And then Born Again comes out and season 1, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Right. Did they ruin this? I think they almost did, and then they rewrote some things. And like season 1 was good. I wouldn't say it was anywhere close to the Netflix. Season 2 so far, and I'm like halfway through the newest episode.
Oh, I'm only one episode into season 2.
And actually, it's a slow burn for a little bit of season 2. I would say you got to get to like episode 3 and 4. Like episode 4 might be one of the best episodes.
They're in hiding right now. Okay. Wow.
So really? It's like episode 4, it like blows up into like, holy crap, this is like a crazy show. And they utilize. There's also a lot. The thing they're doing is Marvel has this tendency to do Easter eggs everywhere and like make it blatant. So like it's for. They do Easter eggs in this show without any reference. Like, there are Easter eggs that if you watch like the What If show, the cartoon show they've done.
I watched season 1 of that. Yep.
Yeah, so there's references to that show that are get winks and nods in the show. Yeah. So like
the internet.
Yeah, exactly. But I agree. I think Daredevil is. We'll see how this season plays out of whether they can fully do it, but like it's been pretty good.
It jumped from 21 to 15 for me because I thought the last 2 episodes of Born Again, Reborn season 1 and the first episode of season 2 were that good. I can't wait to get into what you're talking about. I have Landman at 14. It's a fine show. At 13, and you referenced this, and I'd actually randomly watched it at a bar by myself. Scrubs has come back, and I'm only 4 episodes in. It is so good.
It is. It just.
I thought it was gonna suck.
I am, and this is what we talked about. Was I am a huge Scrubs fan. Like that is like, it is one of those shows that I rewatch back. Like I'm literally rewatching
the originals
again just because the
Does
original. It always. I mean, it just.
Wow.
It just. I've watched it so many times that it just is still great. And. I was terrified that they were doing another reboot because they tried to do a reboot several years back.
New characters.
And it was just very ABC-ified and like tried to make it like a Modern Family kind of comedy. And it's just not that. And I think because he did Ted Lasso now, and now he's done Shrinking, and he's done these shows that are played to the same notes as Scrubs, he's able to do that again. And now he has
to do whatever he wants. Too.
Right. And exactly. And I also think, not for nothing, like I think Zach Braff, who plays JD, is like he's involved with Ted Lasso. He directs it a lot of the time. He's involved with Shrinking. He directs that a lot of the time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he's like
he directs Shrinking episodes.
Yeah, he's done a few. He's done.
He's a filmmaker.
And so like I think he kind of gets what Bill Lawrence is trying to do, and like. Yeah, the new characters are really what I think has made that show so much better, because like it's such a hard thing to introduce.
Yes.
Like I just, me being a huge Scrubs fan, like all I want is JD and Turk moments and like Dr. Cox coming back. But even you, I don't think you're there yet because I don't think you've watched enough, but like they'll bring back, like they bring back Carla and they bring back Dr. Cox and like, and not in such a strong way that you're like, oh, this is a shell of what their character was.
It's not on the nose.
The perfect amount. It's the perfect amount of reintroducing them in so that they're playing to the story arc and they're playing to their character development, but not having to change the show. But we can leave it there because like I think I could talk about Scrubs forever, but like
it's so good.
I just think they're doing a great job, and I'm so happy that it's back, and hopefully they can keep doing it for a long time.
So I have 24 shows on my list. I am watching way too much TV. It's almost as if I don't
just because I'm like, I think there might be a lesson in this for you.
Yeah. Scrubs at 13. John Patterson, paid subscriber. John Patterson, thank you, John. Recommended a show called Paradise. I'd never heard of it. It's on, I think, Hulu. I watch it through Disney. It's a post-apocalyptic show, and it is, and I can't say anything about it because it's one of those twisty sci-fi kind. It is awesome. So just John Patterson suggested it. I would suggest you watch it. And I watched the entire first season in a week.
I haven't watched it yet, but you had recommended it to me, and I think I've seen it on Hulu a bunch. So like I do want to get into it.
Sometimes I'll watch shows, and the next two qualify, where I burn myself out. The comparison I use is I eat an entire cheesecake, and the cheesecake is amazing, but I can't eat cheesecake for another year and a half, right? I've used up all my cheesecake bandwidth. Paradise at 12. Industry at 11, and then Fallout, which is at 10, which is a debut for me. I hadn't watched it last time we did this, which is a post-apocalyptic, Walter Goggins, amazing. They're both amazing. My mom's obsessed with Industry, and she's mad at me. Sorry, Mom, that I'm not still watching it. I think I stopped somewhere through season 3. Both Industry and Fallout will probably go higher. They're amazing. I just watched so much, and they're so intense in different ways. I just need a break. I need to go.
I was just gonna say they're so different in the reason that they're too rich, right?
Yes.
Is like it is with Fallout, which is a lot of Amazon shows. Like The Boys falls in this category too. Is it's just so gross and like
it's so gross. I can't watch The Boys anymore because of that.
Same. Well, there's other reasons that I can't watch The Boys either. It feels real and fake at the exact same time.
I'm not even. I don't know how to describe it. There was a scene. There's a guy that can go miniature and small and big and small.
Yeah.
And there was a scene at the start of a season where he was high and something happened. I'm like, I'm out, man. I'm out.
It does that. And I think that's the part that Fallout hits a couple times too, where you're just like, oh, this feels like a lot. And like, I gotta rev myself back up to watch the show. And like, I want to go back, but I'm just like, it's a lot. I
no
can't
showers
binge
to clean how you feel after you watch Fallout. Industry is realistic, but it's realism, but it's dark. It's just dark, man. And but they're both great.
Right.
Number 9, The Diplomat, because Brett Weidel pointed out that I just forgotten it. It's great. I have Pluribus at 8. I think Pluribus could be an all-timer. I just need to see where it goes. I had Shrinking on this list all the way down into the 1920s because I thought it was very bad in the middle of this season. I thought it lost its groove. Like you and I talked about the Pitt, how they didn't do that. And then the last 3 episodes I thought were amazing. I watched the last 2 last night, so I bumped it all the way back up. I thought it stuck the landing. I'm not sure how much more they need to be doing this show, though, if I'm being honest.
I think that's the vibe I've been getting from people that watch that show religiously, too, of just like, it's not a show that I mean, to be honest, we'll see how this is with Ted Lasso, too, right? It is the same thing of like, when they ended Ted Lasso, I was kind of like, cool.
Need Ted Lasso.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, you did this great. I feel really great. This is a good arc. And like your character, Ted Lasso ended perfectly for Ted Lasso, right? Like, so now we're going to drag him back in. It might, that's going to be a really tough sell of how I think Shrinking could fall into that same category if they go too long.
I thought the final scene where, I won't ruin it, but where I thought, and Harrison Ford was doing all these interviews about how this was one of the most meaningful experiences of his career and how he had to be talked into it. He didn't know who Jason Segel is, that his name was. And, and I'm like, okay, like I think Harrison Ford's great and I think the show's great, but the best scenes have actually been Segel. The Harrison Ford final scene, I thought was amazing. I thought there was an amazing sort of like full arc for everybody. And so love Shrinking. I'm assuming they're doing one more season. I hope they end it. I hope they just close.
And it feels like with the people who are attached to the show, like Harrison Ford's not going to do 9 seasons of a show. Like you don't need to. So like I think that could spell, unless they like kill him off or whatever, or like he just isn't a part of the show anymore in some ways. Like, sure,
the show's about loss. You can't mourn forever as a viewer.
Right. And I do think it's smart for them to just, okay, maybe next season or even just the season after, like do a 2-season arc and just get out. I would agree with that.
I have them at 7. I have Slow Horses at 6. It probably should be higher. Are you a Slow Horses fan? I think it's so good.
I think we talked about this last time. Like, I still have not watched it. I want to watch it.
So
my mom is like obsessed with that show, so like to the fact that like she just will constantly just her subscription ends with Apple TV, and then she'll just do it again to just like bring it back. Yeah,
they're putting a season out because there's all these books. They're putting seasons out every feels like 7 months. So I've got that at 6. I have White Lotus at 5. I think White Lotus is great. I think it's just great. I think it's great. Season 1's probably the best, but I think it's just incredible all the way through.
It's another one that, like, I think formulaically, like the Pitt, in a different way, they can always just keep doing it because it changes scenery, it changes time of year, and like you have new characters. There's not. I actually think the one time they messed up, and this is probably a controversial, like I didn't like that Jennifer Coolidge was in 2 seasons. Like, I think.
What about her masseuse being in 2 seasons? Did you like the masseuse coming back?
That's the thing is, like, I get
you don't need it.
I just don't need it. I think the show could carry itself, and I think they do that for just a check of there's a sect of fans that will go nuts for that stuff. I didn't hate it. I just am like, I don't think it's necessary. And like, I like with shows when you're telling me what I should like. Right, like you know what I mean? Is like I think there's a bit of like you take a lot of audience feedback and you alter what your plan was because
Mike
of
White,
it.
Step back. Is that his name?
Yes, take a lot of advice from Bryce, because like clearly he knows. Yeah.
Hey, why don't you listen to listener Bryce? Apply the listen part of listener Bryce, Mike White. At number 4, I have a debut show for me. It's amazing. It is very buzzy on my algorithm. Like, you hear me trying to like make. I cannot stop watching the cartoon Invincible. It is freaking. Do you know this show?
I know the show because, and you'll laugh at why. It's like it's from TikTok. There's this podcast that pops up all the time for me that it's just these 2 like super nerdy dudes that love every comic book thing, and Invincible is like one of one for them. Like, it is their favorite show ever, and that's the only thing I know about it. I literally don't know anything about that show.
I will not say much other than this. I'm obviously have a lot of time on my hands, and I was sitting around like, what I need is a 24th TV show to watch. And I'm like, okay, it kept popping up. Same thing. I kept people I respect, people that are interested in Barcelona soccer and the Chicago Cubs, that are Dodgers folks, and like bear stuff that I consume, would randomly mention Invincible. It just kept coming up over and over. And all right, I'll watch the first episode. It's 30 or 40 minutes long. And I'm watching it. And like, okay, it's good. I see why people. Okay, yeah, it's a superhero. All right, they got all the superheroes. And then the end of season 1 was like I got hit by a train. It was so shocking. It was so like, wait. Am I seeing this wrong? I don't get high, but am I drunk? Am I like what? And I was just it is
dude
dark.
Sometimes cartoon shows can be better than like a lot of live. Like, one of my
couldn't believe it
on my list, like, and I don't even know if you've watched it, is X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. It's literally they
writing it down.
Did you used to watch the old X-Men, like literally from the 90s? Like, they basically took that storyline and then made new episodes of it. And that show was just fantastic. It's just like, again, it's what they can do with the storytelling, and it is much like Invincible is like, where you're just like, oh my god, the chances they take. It's very Game of Thrones-esque, where you're just kind of like jaw on the floor, just like, whoa,
same,
wow,
It's Invincible basically has like, they steal they have all these. It's not Superman, he's called Omni-Man or whatever, but they have all the characters, and then the stuff they do to them or with them, you're like, what? It's so good. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which you recommended, at 3. I have it all the way at 3.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. A great place for it. I think it needs to back up, right? Like it needs to have another good season. It will probably will because it's based off of a book and
they have stories for it. Yeah,
and they have stories for it, and like the characters, like it's the actors they chose. I think that crushed it, right? Like the kid that plays Egg,
you're right.
like the
He's
main
amazing,
kid, they're
dude.
just so good, and they are their characters, and you just love them, and then you just watch them make a terrible decision, or you watch them get into a thing. It was just well done, and it wasn't too much, right? Like that's the thing. They didn't try. They could have done 11 episodes and
there's
done
no dragon,
multiple of these stories.
Right.
Exactly. They did just like one story arc from the book, and they have extra seasons now, and they were able to leave it in a good spot. Yeah.
Game of Thrones broke my TV heart, but you know what? I gave it another chance. I've got Severance at 2. I think Severance is amazing, and yeah, I think it's great.
It's another one that they got to land the plane. Like
I'm not sure they can. I'm not sure they can. By the way,
it's hard.
I don't know that. Yeah.
That's gonna be hard.
Now they're trapped in there. See a little mic button to cough. You know, did a little pro move. And then the pit at number 1. Okay, and the pit at number 1. You're gonna be part of Bum of the Week. You're gonna like get to help shape Bum of the Week.
This is just, I mean, on a week in which I can't like nominate someone from Philly makes me sad. But like, no, but
I mean,
anyway,
you. Oh, by the way, this is like the most LA thing of all time. I'm sorry. So hold on. Where's my obnoxious
name drop? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So I'm playing tennis yesterday it's always tennis, right? That's all I do now. Play tennis, drink margaritas during the day, and watch a lot of TV.
Unemployment's really treating you tough, man.
Check notes. Should get job. I was playing tennis with a really nice guy, really good. Oh my God, he and this other dude. We recruited the super team, and then we played against a couple of them. They destroyed me and my buddy co-captain Jeff, who also listened to the pod. So let me say, I didn't think he did. Let me say this: Jeff is the greatest tennis player, co-captain, handsome man of all time. He is a hero to all of us. We got destroyed by this dude. This guy is one of the primary owners of the MLS team from Philadelphia.
Oh, the Union. Yeah,
they have an academy. They modeled after Barcelona. So interesting.
My cousin's son is like a part of their academy. He's like he plays. He's like a really, really, really good soccer player. And he's
tell me later. Tell me the name.
I'll tell you the name. I'll tell you later because he is.
I'll text him.
He is awesome, and like it was like to hear that they do this. I'm like, oh, that's such a cool system, such a smart because
he's in
Europe, right? Like they do
real.
this in Europe, and it's awesome legit to see the MLS start to embrace that part of the game. Like that's such a cool thing.
This guy was walking me through it when he wasn't crushing me and Jeff, who is a legendary man. In tennis. That was really cool. Okay. I'm not LA. It's such a weird. What do you do? I own sports teams. What do you do? I'm unemployed. Want a margarita? It's 11. Is that a no? Is that a yes? I don't understand. All right. We're gonna do a little break, and then I'm so excited for you to be part of Bum of the Week after a Spike Eskin, who's from Philadelphia, sponsored Fake Break.
When he's right, he's right. You're listening to Righter Than You with Bill Ryder.
That's always my favorite. When he's right, he's right. For everyone on earth, when they're right, they're right. That you can.
I want to meet the person that's wrong when they're right. That's like.
Yeah, who wrote that? That would be better. When he's wrong, he's still right, sir. Okay, this is very exciting. You are a part of the absolute magic. Let me make sure I don't, because I push the buttons wrong all the time, right? I have a lot of trouble. The buttons are hard, okay, but not this one because I've got this one written down.
Hallelujah, I'm a bum.
All he's doing is a whole lot of damn nothing.
I'm a bum. I'm a bum.
They're a bunch of bums.
I'm a bum.
Who's the bum this week? Let's find out on Righter Than You.
All right, I'm going to give you a few, and you can throw in as many as you want. If you want to get somebody from Philadelphia in there, you are absolutely allowed to. It's a little serious, but I think I have to nominate Diana Rossini. She's Philadelphia.
Well, she's on our radar. I can tell you that much.
She's married to a.
Yeah.
Okay. No jokes, but not great. Not. I don't know her.
I think mostly for her statement, right? Like, whatever the scenario, all of that.
Yes.
It's the statement's still too vague, still too like
Yes.
Barstool's been like kind of on this train a little bit because they've been a part of the story too, and a little bit like actually just calling out like it's not that you're resigning. Like, okay, that's fine, but like the way you resign and what you said, I completely agree.
I mean, the investigation's continuing, and it certainly seems like she is resigning to try and end an investigation.
Feels like Congress.
It really does. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm going to nominate Kawhi Leonard. Eliminated. When it didn't plant the trees, the last I checked. I got the odds today. Like he's a betting favorite to go somewhere else again. Has there ever been a better player in the history of the NBA to jump around as much as this guy? I mean, LeBron Kawhi's going to go from the Spurs to the Raptors to the Clippers to, it sounds like maybe the Heat are one of the betting favorites for where he's going to be. This guy could have been an all-timer.
He really could have been. I don't know if he's someone that, like, had he played his entire career as a Spur, what his career and his legacy would be, right? Like, that's the thing is, like, who knows what that team would have been, but, like, he got Toronto a title and, like,
youngest finals MVP in history.
Yeah, it's just, like, he's an unbelievable, like, player, but I think he's another one that's, like, I think a victim of the critiques of today's NBA, which is like load management and injuries and those kind of things. That
he's the prophet of load management and tree planting, apparently. The Heat are the favorites. The Warriors are the second most likely team. I've got the Clippers on here for all the same reasons. I'm going to nominate Live Golf. Just the entirety. You try to destroy golf. You try to buy your way in. And now you're like, oh, we might just shut this thing down. I'm glad you failed.
I actually think it's like, to me, it's like Bryson DeChambeau, it's John Rahm, where you had the option to go back and you didn't read the tea leaves right. Like, and now you're kind of screwed. And and I think like golf fans are gonna like. Can you imagine if John Rahm was like on the PGA Tour with Scotty Scheffler right now, and Rory and all these guys that are just killing it? It would be unbelievable.
The only thing wrong with one of the great films of all time up there with Citizen Kane, The Godfather, Bridget Jones's Diary. The only thing wrong with it is that Bridget Jones's dad, takes the mom back when she leaves him for the weird, mean game show host guy. Don't take him back, PGA Tour.
It's interesting, and like, who knows what the future for them is. I think the PGA Tour literally only did that because it was just selfishly, right? Like they're ratings giants, so like why not?
So okay, this is where I need your help. We did a Righter Than You bracket challenge. My dad won it last week. My brother finished second. Tom was bragging, D-Snell, Pretty Daddy was bragging that he got the Final Four in the Final Four. We went to look for he should be high. He never signed up.
This is me. This is my surprise phase. I'm totally shocked.
You know all this. I mean, he's got to be.
Yeah, 100%. I just think it's like, there's no way you just didn't like, oh, I didn't click the right button, or I never.
Right. Then he tried to blame Stu.
Okay. Like you clearly filled out a bracket, so like you can. There's even like if he used this. What if he used the same app? Like you don't even have to refill it out. You could just copy it over.
Right.
Like, so 100% bum of the week. Like and also proof. Like you had the Final Four intact. Like I didn't see it. It wasn't in our poll.
It's
so
either
like
what you just said, Bryce, or it's like, I had a perfect bracket this time, but I forgot to but I wrote it down and here it is.
I was actually the person that like filled out my bracket, thought it was crap, so I just stopped checking, and then all of a sudden it's Michigan and UConn, and I had UConn as the final, and like realized that I would finish second if UConn had won. I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't even realize.
Man. All right. For being full of crap, for turning your back on the show, for giving me first-year producer, Pretty Daddy PTSD vibes, for blaming Stu, for making Kawhi Leonard skate. Pretty Daddy is bum of the week, bro.
That's your bum of the week. On Righter Than You.
One of my favorite things about Stu and Tom is that they do they like making each other miserable. When Stu was producing me back on the radio show, I knew Tom, but he didn't work on the show. Stu would bring me Tom's terrible takes. I'd be so outraged. I'd bring him up on the air. We did a whole segment, What to Sell. I have a segment called What to Sell that we made when he wasn't even on the show. One day he was listening. He's like, wait, why am I hearing my... And then when Tom was producing me, he would tell me stuff about Stu that they're always trying. You think I'm pitting them against each other? That's what they do. I just enjoy it and lean into it. So I'm going to write them both right now. Tommy.
I do think there's a part of it too that like you also know that this is like fuel for Tom, right? Like there will now be great like reaction that come from this. And
so that's
like,
real.
Like it almost makes it unfair for him to be in Bum of the Week because he will just get it because it will also create more content. Like you won't be able to talk about if you pick Kawhi Leonard, you're never going back to Kawhi Leonard to talk about it. But like now there's several days
Tom
of conversation.
There was one year where Tom was his first year producing me was Bum of the Week, maybe second year, maybe 7 times, and legitimately it wasn't. Maybe one of them was
amazing,
and I should have made a Bum of the Year, and I didn't have the guy. I just and he laughed about he did not want to be Bum of the Year. He's like, I don't want to be Bum of the Year.
I just like it's the people that he would be up against and would beat. I think like on a weekly basis,
Doc Rivers,
it's just fun. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like if you're like worse than those people, like that's a tough thing to live with. I would agree with that.
You won the thing. There's only 52 weeks in the year. It's your name again and again. And 1 year. I'm like, you got to keep a Bum of the Week log so we know. And he just wouldn't do it. And so I finally opened it, looked at it, wasn't in there. So then he got Bum of the Week for that. I'm like, dude, if you are Bum of the Week every week, you don't do this. He's like, all right. But so the next week he didn't do it. I'm like, you're Bum of the Week again.
I have a segment idea. It's got to be Tom's terrible take. And like that's just should be a new weekly deal. It almost could supplant him so he doesn't get Bum of the Year because it's gonna happen. And if you can just be like, Tom, you can save it up. You get one terrible take this week.
He won't tell me his takes because he knows.
Well, you get to choose it, I think, because you're just gonna be like, okay, I don't think you realize it. This is your terrible take of the week.
At the height of Anthony Davis's greatness, right? Whatever this was, he's not a top 10 big man. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, because you think he's a 4? No, I just like wherever he plays, he's not a top. Like, oh my god, dude, this is gold though. But keep it coming. But also,
yeah, I love it personally, and like again, this is not pandering. Like I do love Tom. I think Tom's fantastic and
Tom
has been one of the better producers that you've worked with. Him and
He's
Stu,
great.
I love them both. Like they think they're great, and I think what's great with them is like being friends with you and knowing this is what being friends with you brings. Nothing's off the record, and just be prepared to be content, and like that's the deal. Like that's what you signed up for.
Stu has weighed in with a yes in all caps, and it appears to be 4 exclamation points to the news that Tom is Bum of the Week. All right, that was a really fun show. So we'll do this again. We'll have to find another, maybe when Severance comes. I don't know what's coming up, but we'll do this again in a few months.
White Lotus, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, is that coming out this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're filming it now.
All right. He's Bryce. I'm Bill. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend. I'll be doing shows from Spain next week. Unemployment. It's great until it's not.